Welcome back to the Sambongo Dragon. And this is episode like 5 of Rock with Sambongo. We're to rock with Sambongo, because that's what we do. I changed up the backtrack, or the introduction. I put it on as clean setting, because I know I do like to play clean. You get some really nice fades on the clean sound. A lot of control in it, right? Oh, all right. Sorry, yeah, it's a little warm in here. It's not bad. It should be nice and warm in here, shouldn't it? It should have that weird conflicted feeling of warm and cold. Wow, very, very quiet all of a sudden. Anyway, so thank you so much for following, subscribing, and everything. So anyway, I had a small success with my videos. I'm celebrating it in a sense. I went up to like 85 views in a couple days, and then one of them went down, and then one of the ones below it went up a couple, and then one of them went up, and then it went up again, and then I kind of flatlined downward, right? I think that might be a problem with the algorithm, in which where the videos go sometimes, because they just didn't see it yet or something, but that's all right. It's not as important as getting the information out there eventually, and so anyway, thanks for joining me on everything, and tomorrow I will be streaming at about the same time. I like 6 o'clock p.m. My favorite time in the world is hitting at 6:30 p.m. So of course I'm in the good mood, I guess, at about 6. So about 5, maybe a bit earlier. I'm not sure. I might do an extra long stream, but tomorrow I'm having a guest, I believe. I might be having a guest. I might not be having a guest, and if not, I'll let you know. It's something very special tomorrow to see, and We'll see how that goes. We're kind of chaotic that way. We might just pick up and start rocking out one day for no reason. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me here. We're going to go over some topics that I want to get over and get onto, and then we're going to go back and work on a few things and try to get these topics to work together nicely, because that's why we're talking about them. Anyway, so not to waste all your time, hit the like button. Don't forget that one. It's how you know that you're there. Make a comment, say something positive for the other people to see. It feels good to read other people's good comments. And let's get into this. So anyway, we're going to talk about a little bit about the genres of music. We're going to talk about, like, you know, the control that comes along with being within one of the genres at one amount of time. And we're just going to briefly go over what music theory can end up doing with genres, even though music theory cascades through all of it. But, you know, without further ado, I'm going to put up an easy drummer, and I'm going to start to shred out the guitar on it a little bit, and we're going to have a real simple time picking up a new drum track, given that the easy drummer is automatic, and I don't have to depend on a drummer or anything at the moment. Sorry, that was just rude of me to say. Bing! I like that ride bell. Okay, so now that we're here, let's see what we're looking for. We're looking for maybe some blues. Let's hear that. That looks pretty cool. Got the blues drummer going on here. All right, so let's see what that can sound like. Take my seat back on the main stool here. Are you ready to rock? I'm ready to rock. That's why we're here. right. I love it. Easy drummer, just like that. Okay, so we got some. That was some hardcore blues. We switched it up. It was a clean tone, and I know it felt good. I got a lot of those notes out. I could have turned it up a little, but instead, I decided we could distort it. I tend to make that decision a little too soon these days. With a distortion, maybe I choose distortion over even some alternatives, which is crazy because I use those alternatives, and it's just like I don't want to get to it yet. It's a poor way of thinking. It's a poor way of doing some things. You got to get to it. Don't want to procrastinate. So, of course, let's start with this little topic quickly, using some of that vibe that we have going at the moment. When you're working with a genre like metal, rock and roll, blues, jazz, hip hop, R&B, swing, contemporary, nonsense, classical, something new wave, metalcore, deathcore, death metal. You tend to use the genre itself as a way to shut everything out, you know? And if you have everything shut out, you don't have to worry about making those hard decisions of when to change the distortion and or when to turn up the volume, like if you're actually liking what you're doing. Sad truth is, most people like the music they say they don't like. When you hear some Justin Bieber going on, you're like, ugh, why? Yeah, sure, you hate that. You wouldn't choose to listen to it. But you're not gonna you're not gonna have a mental disease. You're not gonna die from it. It's not gonna kill you. It won't manage to legitimately kill you. Which is the thing that, you should be able to get over it then, in that sense, right? Show some health for the rest of us if you are so into the metal, for God's sakes. Anyway, so that was a briefing of the topic. We might go over that more later on. It's definitely a part of the job, right? Got to go through these things. And so let's talk about control. Control is the manner of which you have a direction, you know which way you want to go with it, and you know how you're going to get there by pushing your way through it, in a sense, So if you're always pushing things away, you don't have the control of it. You kind of do, because it's going somewhere, as long as you know where it's going. But if you're pulling things in and holding onto those things for a moment and keeping them, you have the control of whatever that thing is. You know where it is, it's supposed to be, and then you can leave it behind you, in a sense. And it's not behind you. It's there, and it's supposed to be where it is, and it is. And reconnected successfully. Okay, so I think we're reconnected now. I apologize for that. I don't know what happened. There was just a small problem with OBS Studio. That was terrible, disappointing in all things. But we're gonna get to what I was talking about now. Okay, so it's kind of a punky sound, but when you do control the sustain note and you find another way to move through the note that you just sustained in front of everything in your song or whatnot, and you just kind of let it define it, in a sense. You forget what you just finished playing and you move to a new realm, in a sense, right? It's called an island. So some people like to consider it literally moving to like an island. And once you get to that island, you got to be able to survive on that island. So we're going to play Survival Island there for a while. And so it's a bit of a punky sound. And if you're not careful, you can put that punky sound right inside a position where it's just not comfortable being. It doesn't quite fit with everything, right? It's almost like the guitar itself had some features about it that just didn't fit with anything else. And those features are supposed to be its strength. It's a strength to have it not fit in with everything else. That not fitting in is definitely what helps it define itself and keeps it fresh, keeps it excited, and keeps it it keeps it stylized. Anyway, so me personally, I like to use punk music, which is some of the funnest music to play in the world because it's just chaos, right? So if you use fun punk music and you try to play like a nice blues note, you could find yourself having a bit of trouble capturing the true essence of what it is to have the blues with it, right? So of course, practice, and you get there. And here's a couple of helpful tips that I'm going to show you with some distortion on. Hopefully you heard it with the clean tone, and then we'll go with some distortion, and that will help us make almost like a heavy metal music with the blues, which would be cool because it's a lot of to do with like punk music, which is so close to heavy metal anyway, right? Now, if the champ would like me to design a nice guitar lesson for you specifically, you just got to let me know, and I'll be able to put together something that I think would fit perfectly for you. But you got to let me know. But until then, I'm going to keep ruling the decision on whatever these lessons turn out to be like. And so this is another lesson, but it's more of a lesson in life. If you feel like you have the blues and it just doesn't seem to reach anyone, and you can't get that feeling out just because you're a little bit of a punk, I'm going to help you make a decision on whether or not you're really feeling the blues before you let someone else know it. All right, so here we go. Let's turn it down to a nice distorted tone. And we're gonna play with the dials a little bit, like I have in the past of my videos, and with the volume, with the tone, and we're gonna give it some physical connection to help them display the sound before they get to it. Them as in the audience and even the player. All right, so I'm going to call that a blues metal riff, a blues metal sound, a blues metal thing. And it's very neat and weird. But it was also punky. It had a lot of punk vibe to it. There's so many parts in it that if I were to take them individually away and I were to add a little bit more attention to the details, you would find it what it is, right? It's like we don't really know what's going on just because you chose a different style than another way that you might have more easily been able to describe things with. So to not give into like the pressures or to not give into like, the loss of control, to not lose control. Because if you don't lose the control and you keep that control of that note you're trying to sustain, you don't have to worry about where it is, when it is, and how it's doing. You just have to simply know what you want it to play next, simply know what you're feeling next, most importantly. And simply you gotta know what it is your audience wants to hear next. Because if you know they want to hear something, you gotta give it to them. That's the best part. Simply they might call out something and you gotta give them what it is they need. And that's where you get the feeling. That's the feeling. You gotta want an audience even if you don't have one. That's okay. I don't mind not having an audience. But that does it for our conversation on our control and genres. We're gonna go over those a lot more because the genres are kind of undecided and we're still kind of weird about that on the Dragon Here show. So anyway, thanks Champ for joining us and seeing what we're doing here. Sorry about that interruption a little bit earlier on. It seems that I don't think it'll be captured in the video. I think they'll cut that out. If not, I can always do that myself, I guess. But this was pretty awesome, real rock and roll shit. And we're gonna play a little bit more with the easy drummer, and I'm thinking I'm gonna solo over it a little bit more than the riff designing. I like that part of it, and I've been wanting to for a long time to use the tight room. And the tight room has all of, how you're just like kind of in frame perfectly at some points. It's just kind of weird. Let's go to the drum room here. I'm gonna go to the tight room. I like it. Let's hear that other thing we did. I don't know, it was okay, but it doesn't quite fit the tight room just as much as it did before. We're gonna go with this one. All right, so hold on to your hats here. We're gonna do some hardcore soloing section here, and I'm gonna adjust the tone knob like I said I was gonna do. I didn't actually adjust the tone knob too much or touch it, but I did do it with the way I was playing. That's kind of what I was trying to say in the main point of it. But let's get creative with this. Right. So I like to think that one is our frustrations and our troubles and our problems and our only dealing with a lot of things in the world. You know what I mean? Of course, it doesn't necessarily show too many reasons or ways for it to be those things. Yet I believe most certainly it is stuck inside the genre of the blues, and it's right there in the very heart of the punk guitar, and it's about as metal guitar as you can get. Yet just by switching the dials off and on, up and down at the right point, you can find a new way to sustain a note and or to make a note that is sustained actually, start to do a job itself, like it has to get itself to work. So basically it just comes down to whether or not you are adapted and matured enough now to not simply need to be brought to tears every time, but not without the ability to be brought to tears by something in the world, right? Of course, that's what the blues music is. It's a sorrow or sadness. But notes don't have to be a sorrow or sadness, just if you're feeling it. So I'd like to let that be a nice lesson for you today. Now, it's not necessarily, I'm not a lesson or teaching, but today happened to be a way of teaching. And once I get this frustration out, we might be able to put together something really cool, because so far, I like using the tight room for these nice high impact guitar solos, and I really like the idea of the bright room for a lot of the intricate riff designs like deathcore might have, or heavy metalcore guitar style, right? Something like the Gent, right? And the main room there, I'm starting to like it for the innovation on things. It's almost like if it's the practice room, and it shouldn't be a practice room, right? But it's got a really clear impact of sound, and it really brings out some of the innovations to things. So soon enough, we'll be able to put together something that's really awesome, and you never know, I might get a few followers to say something. I don't know how I'll convince them. Hey, you're following me. Say something at this time here, or something, say something, I don't know. And if you do, I'll put you on it somehow. Like I'll put your username or whatever on it, and we can start to build it. Unless you don't want that kind of thing, then keep your name exclusive. In a sense, I guess. I don't know how it works. This is Twitch. It's a new platform. I'm not very good at it yet, but since this is in the music section, I don't get a lot of live viewers, but I do put this up on YouTube. So if you're willing to watch it on YouTube, come over to my YouTube channel and check out the Sambongo Dragon. And this is the next episode, number 5. I'm going to title this one Control. Yeah, I'm going to title it Control. Sounds like a rebellious idea too, I think. So I think we should get to the next part of this video. And I think it should be a little bit of punk guitar. And I'm really excited about that because I love punk guitar, bro. And in punk guitar, you can use like a hip hop beat for it. It'll be no problem. So maybe we should just get crazy right from the start, right here. Just like getting crazy. Why not, right? So let's go to the hip hop. Let's get a beat going. Let's see, which one is nice and fast? That's badass. Now it's a little bit overly redundant that I use hip hop beat and punk guitar yet again. But not to be a one-trick pony, hip hop metal tends to utilize punk beats. We're gonna use this one. It's just too spicy to resist. So let's get ready, guys. Did you want to see the easy drum, or are you okay with just seeing this? I think you're okay with just seeing me at the moment. Let's go with that. It's alright, I'm not naked or anything. You can come in. Oh, you don't want to come in? Okay, that's okay. Anyway, alright, let's get to it. Hope you're ready for this one. so that does it for like a nice punk guitar example. No, sorry, I didn't let you see the easy drummer that I was building up right there, but that is an example of the innovations that you can find using things like mini mixes. Just for the new people who may have joined here, how do you put this? There's your genres and your sense of control, and they kind of define something, right? And next you want to use what you have, and you don't have any control over what you decide to use, and it doesn't have any help because no one knows what genre it's coming from. And so that's not a problem to have. That's a good thing. That's awesome. That's what you want. And so, of course, thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for helping me get through this stuff. This kind of gets to the end of our topic of discussion, and we're just going to play some guitar again because I love to play some more guitar, and I'd love to learn how to get some of those chords to sound so pretty. But the problem is they sound that pretty, you see, and then you play them and you go, how do I play them right? How do I play those chords the right way? And so we're going to have to change the tune, the tone, and whatnot. We're going to come back and say those are going to be that cool and that awesome right there. But for now, we're going to learn how to use them over here. And I might grab you like an acoustic guitar. Or we're going to change the tones back to a clean setting. And yeah, I'm just going to change it to a clean setting. And it might come in, handy to have it all adjusted at once here. What the heck? Sorry, I'm using my Line 6 to do this. It's a very well distorted guitar, and the cleans are just like overly clean, but it's meant to be distorted, that's for sure. All right, so let's talk about some other stuff quickly, just to get inspired. What's the hot trend right now? What's the hot trend? There's like a lot of hot bands out there right now. All these guys and all these girls and all these dudes going around and making brand new things and rocking and rolling. You got to imagine what they're actually doing. What they're doing is probably maybe more than what we're able to get away with doing. So it's not necessarily going to be something we're going to expect. But until then, we got a lot of people playing things on the internet. Dead Space 2, Dead Space just came out. I love Dead Space. It's an awesome game, Isaac. And for anyone out there right now who is playing video games and they're all on the hot trend and they're buying the next one, and feeling a little sucked into the commercialism of the whole deal. Well, just know that it's just a bit of pressure, and you can get through it. You can do it, whatever it is. There's an anxiety above everyone's head, and how can it be just one person's? That wouldn't be something that we would allow. So, of course, that concludes it for this episode, and we'll make another mention in the next episode because the next episode is going to be very special. Tomorrow, I am going to be meeting up with a friend, a very cool friend. I can't mention it right now because he might not even agree to be on the show with me right now, and we're going to make it up to all the people out there who have been hurt by the current form of anxiety and the current form of pressure and the current societal weight. So, of course, stay tuned. Don't do drugs, stay in school, read a book, and we'll be back soon enough. Champ and champettes and champion you. But before I go, we got to make one last statement. And it's a big statement because it's my very only statement. It's my mission statement. It's becoming an entity of its own. Sorry, you got to give me a second here. I'm just going to prepare myself for this mission statement because that's exactly what it is. I just drop everything on the floor. Anyway, throw it all away for this one thing because this one thing is what matters and nothing else. Sorry, I thought I looked tough for a second there. All right, just quickly light up one more little piece of incense because I don't smoke, I don't vape, I don't do that. I hardly drink anymore. Back in the day, I'll just say it, I'll admit, I used to be a bit of a partier. I used to have a drink, and I might even have tried a little bit of the herbal refreshment in my time, just to get to know it, what it is and what it means. A lot of people convince themselves that they'll simply just try it once and never again. But the problem is, you can become quite sucked into that kind of thing. So, anyway. The one way to get rid of that part of your lifestyle and the one way to fix that kind of thing is through, of course, a moment of self-care, compassion, peace, and pride all at once. Muhammad Ali, the one true god of boxing, the holy king and knight himself, the warrior champion and the warrior king, Muhammad Ali, thank you, rest in peace, and all you have done and all you have served. And keep serving what you do, and we're going to hope with the best of our metal evil power to make sure you do the best that you can do for everyone in the world, a young, small, infant, or old. We love you, Muhammad Ali. Rest in peace. Sorry, that may have been a little too bold for some of your taste, but Muhammad Ali is one of the greatest inspirations known to mankind. And if you can't get behind the Muhammad Ali, we're going to have a little bit of a trouble here, partner. We're going to have to get tough with you. I'm going to get Tyson tough with you. You see that, punk? Okay, sorry about that. All right. So this has been a great episode. I enjoyed it so much. Thanks for sticking around for the craziness. There was not too many people in live, but you know what? That's okay. I don't expect the world. I just expect the world to work. And it does that most certainly. So take a break every now and again. And you know what? Get those books read. That's the point of the damn thing here. So anyway, it's going to be at the end of the stream. I'm going to turn it off now. And thank you so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow if you are here, because there will be something special. Real big time. Something I'm really excited for this. All right.